Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? My name is Rob Carmona, and welcome back to another episode of Rob the Mic. So, I want to thank you guys for all the love, the interactions, and everything that you guys have given me the last couple weeks. It seems like now, I don't know, things are really picking up. It's a trip, and it's wild to be a part of your guys' lives in that way, and I'm very, very honored to. For those of you who catch the episodes on Wednesday nights, for those of you who catch it Thursday, anytime that you do, like I appreciate y'all. And for all of you guys who are just showing up, new listeners, welcome, 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 welcome. Hopefully you guys enjoy the space, you enjoy the conversation, and hopefully it sparks many, many things for the future. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate y'all. Yo, it's funny, one of my cousins that not that I had reconnected with. So I mean, we've always been cool, but we don't get to see each other very often because she stays out in like San Diego. So it's a little bit of a drive, and we both have like really wild schedules and just family things, right? Like life happens. Essentially, life happens and sometimes it gets hard. So we connected at my grandpa's birthday. It was maybe about a month ago, and it was nice because her and I have never really had a chance to have a conversation like in years, because there's always so much going on, whether it's like a family reunion or some sort of party, and we don't get a lot of time just together. So when we reconnected, it was cool because we finally got to exchange, like, especially Instagrams and things like that. Because not that we didn't have each other's info, but I feel like, at least for me, I tend to keep that type of, or I guess that part of my life very private. Like my work is my work, my personal is my personal. If you have my phone number, cool. Like to me, that's like the ultimate personal passage, right? Like, because you can reach me anytime. And that's the one place that I will probably get back to you, because when it comes to my DMs, I feel like they get really overwhelming. And sometimes I just can't fucking deal. And I'm like, I'm just not going to fucking do this. So if you can reach out to me directly, like do that. I always tell you guys 110%, like if you have my number, reach out to me that way, use it, because I got you. I'm going to respond unless there's something really crazy going on. But either way, I will get back to you as soon as I can. But her and I exchange info, been going about it. And she started listening to the podcast. And it was crazy because she posted about it the other night. And I was like, damn. And she's like, dude, I love it. Like, this is so great. Like everything that you talk about, I just feel like like I level with you and I get it. I understand what you're saying and it feels really good. And I'm like, dude, this is so crazy. Like crazy, crazy, crazy. Cause I forget it, right? That I do this sometimes. Again, like, and I've told you guys this before. I record, I do my thing, and then I just throw it up online and that's it. I kind of forget about it. And I've been really bad about like reposting the episode after I record it. So like I'll post it up on Instagram and stuff like that, but I won't like continue to share it. And I know I need to be better about that. I know. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to try and implement that this week. So every day after that, I'm going to try at least share like, yo, this is what's up. This is what's up. This is what's up. And just kind of keep going from there. But I just forget. I know it's like, oh, how do you forget? You do this every week, but I do, because it's just a part of the routine. It's just another thing that I do. I put it out there and I let it go. It's kind of like the way I do my photos, where I edit them, I post them up, and sometimes I set it and forget it type of thing. I don't let it run my entire world. It's just a part of my world, because I've fallen into these holes where I let it run everything and I notice what it does to me. Or I start to look at analytics. I start to look at certain things and I'm like, oh, why isn't engagement like this? Why isn't it like that? Like, I feel like I'm not adding up. Like I'm not making it. I'm not doing it. And it's like, no, fuck all that. You put out what you're going to put out into the world, and that's it. That's all you can do. You can't really control how people are going to perceive it. You can't really control how things are going to do. And I think ultimately, as long as you're doing what makes you happy, that's it. Right. And now I have family, especially this cousin specifically, Davina, that's getting to experience this and see like, yo, this is what my cousin's doing. This is a part of his life. Right. Like I get that he's a creative, but this is something that he loves and has a passion for. And he's getting to share this with the world. And more importantly, I get to share it with people like her. Right. Where it's like I have people that, let's say, have known me since I was a kid. And now they're like, oh, damn, like, this is where he's at. This is what he's doing. This is what he's talking about, XYZ. And that's wild. To me, it's the coolest fucking thing in the world. And anytime that I have people that knew me from when I was younger, or people I've known since I was a kid, when they get to experience a podcast, it's always a very special experience because they're like, bro, it's so wild to hear you now and see you talk and see you do this whole thing and put on this like production. And like we used to kick it back in the day. And like I remember you as a kid, or I remember you like when we were teenagers, and so on and so forth. And it's like now you're over here in this different space, and you're making a difference, and you're trying to do something with like your whole career, like you're shifting everything, right? Because I feel like I had this certain plan, I had a trajectory in mind, and none of that has kind of gone in line. And not even kind of, like it hasn't. Shit doesn't, it didn't fit where it needed to go. Everything that I kind of had an idea of like what my career was going to look like it didn't add up that way. And I had such a rough time with that for a long time, being like, well, you didn't do what you said you were going to do. You didn't go where you said you were going to go. And I almost felt like a failure for a little bit. And it's like, well, that's not your path, right? And I'm not trying to chalk it up like, oh my God, it's the universe. Like, no, I'm not trying to leave it to shit like that. But I do think that we make certain decisions and we do certain things, and how it unfolds a lot of the time really isn't up to us, right? It's almost like when we were talking about the ideas of regret, and it's, you don't really know what's going to happen. You make decisions with the information that you have and what you think is right at the time, right? Because you don't know if the grass is greener on the other side. You don't know what's going to happen. And who knows, if you would have made the decision the other way, it could have been a fucking shit ton worse. Like, you don't know. You don't know. And that's kind of how I feel, at least like career-wise, like where I've been and where I've been going is like, okay, things didn't really pan out the way I wanted them to, or they're not necessarily following a certain plan or a path, but it's not a bad thing, because everything that's unfolded has led me to this point. So it's like, can I really be mad about it? Like, okay, maybe job-wise, certain things haven't lined up and I can be upset about that, whatever. But it is what it is. Like, this is where I'm at. And every day I make decisions and I do certain things to try and pivot my life and put me in a certain direction. And it's like, that's all I can do. I can only handle what's in my power. Everything outside of that is, it's beyond me, right? There's nothing I can do. I can sit here, I can hope, I can think about it, I can make certain decisions, and that's it. What decides to unfold, or what happens, or what algorithm picks me up, or who fucking recognizes me and wants to give me a shot, like, I don't know. I don't know who that is. I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like I'm in a spot where it's like, okay, well, now I'm getting to see what's good. And I get to share that with you guys, like people that I care for, people that got to see me from when I was a kid now are seeing me as an adult. And it's wild. It's really, really wild. And I'm very, very thankful. I know I tell you guys every week, you're probably fucking tired of hearing me say it, but I really appreciate you guys. I really, really do. It's very fucking special to be here and to do what I do. So thank you guys. And with all of that being said, talking about careers and all these things, I read something and I said, that's what I want to talk about this week. And it's the only thing I really want to talk about. Is I was like, well, I kind of want to build something around it. And I'm like, no, fuck that. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I don't want it to be like a super quick episode, but I kind of do. Because this is where my heart's at right now. And I kind of feel like this is the space that I've been in. So this is what I read. It says the art of creativity is a delicate balance between chaos and order. And I feel and I know that that's what my life has been. It's been trying to find this constant balance of that, where there's so much shit going on in my personal life and also in my professional life, and it seems very chaotic. And it's like, okay, well, how do I pull chaos from this side and this side to just kind of keep the scales level? Like, none of this is going to go away. The craziness isn't going to go away. The anxiety, the stress, all this shit isn't going to go away. So how do I keep that at bay? How do I keep these things just kind of one and one right now. So I feel as if the more I do things that I want to do, that's kind of what helps me find my balance. Like on Saturday, I had a shoot at an event in Garden Grove, and it was something I had been invited to months ago. So it was rad to finally get to go to this event, which was fucking cool. I went last year, and the location where they had it at was at a park last year. And this year it was at, technically it's called, or it's what's called an Elks Lodge, which is like an event hall kind of situation. But it was cool because they had like a little private park in the back, and it was sick. Like it was really, really dope car event. And it's a very specific type of vehicle that goes. And I also love attending events that have those kind of restrictions because I feel like I get to travel back in time. Like I'm not going to see cars from this age to this age. It's like, this is where it stops. This is the cutoff point. And that's it. It's from here down. So, I'm seeing cars, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and then like, that's it. And even then, there's limitations to even how many of certain things and how many of certain people they're choosing to display inside. And it was just fucking rad. But even though I'm working, and even though I'm out here shooting, I'm out here doing my thing, making connections, talking, networking, it was something I really wanted to do. And even leading up to it, it was a little chaotic just because I had some things going on. And I'm like, well, fuck, dude. But even being there, it just leveled me out. And I was like, okay, I have a job to do, but I'm happy. I'm with people I want to be with. And to me, it's like, that's all I can ask for. Thankfully, I get to work a job where a majority of the time, I get to see people that I really care about and actually want to be with and actually want to spend my time, right? I get to see homies like my buddy Dominic. His car was down for a while. He has one of the most beautiful Rivieras of all fucking time, in my opinion. I have pictures of it on my Instagram, and on my publication with Voyage, I actually have a picture of like a corner of his car, and it's like white, teal, gold, and it's fucking beautiful. But his Riviera is incredible. And anyways, it's been down for a while, and he brought it up. And one, it's dope to see him because he's good vibes, he's good people, and I actually really fucking care about him as a person. And I know that we have this understanding of each other, and he respects me, he respects what I do, he sees what I'm about. So it's like, it's good to see people like that. Like I need people like that in my life, right? So I get to see people like him. I get to see, homies like Adrian too, who are out there shooting, doing their thing. We get to have a drink, chill out. And I'm like, you see, this is cool, right? Like this is balance. To me, this is balance. I'm getting to do what I love, spend time with people that I love and care for. And it's like, that's what this shit's all about. But I'm always having to constantly do that. And even when things get thrown out of whack, like I have to find a way to just kind of bring things back no matter what. And I feel like that's going to be just a reoccurring theme. And it's like, for maybe a lot of you guys watching or listening, however it is that you're taking the cast in, you're probably like, duh, like that's what life is. But I think you come into these periods where maybe you forget shit like that, or you don't really think about it so much. And it's not that I haven't thought about it, because I always think about it. But what I kind of forgot about is that I'm in this state of where I'm constantly having to kind of readjust so that the scales don't fucking tip one way or the other, right? Where I need to be like, okay, what is it that I need? Okay, I need more of this. All right, now I'm starting to level out. Or if this shit's too crazy, hold on, let me move some of this, put this here, put this here. Okay, now we're leveling out again. So it's like I'm doing it, I guess the word is like subconsciously. And now that I'm actively conscious of what I'm doing, it's like, oh, okay, that's what it is. I'm trying to find my balance because I didn't have that for a while. And I don't have that at certain times. So it's like, what is it that I need? Pay attention to my needs. Pay attention to my wants. It doesn't have to be anything wild, dude. It's like down to the simplest of things, where it's like, if I want a certain, like something to eat, go get that. If I want a milkshake, go do that. Something like that. Like if I want to grab a drink, like go grab a drink, like do my thing. Like it's all good. And there's nothing wrong with that. And then also, like, I don't know, we've talked about this recently too, that I'm trying to embrace more like spontaneity in my life, because I feel like I try to structure things so much, and I try to have schedules, and like I never used to use my calendar, y'all. Never. Never, never, never. It was just this whole mental note, or I take notes of it here in my notes app. But now it's like, dude, I live by my fucking calendar. Live by that shit. Like, I don't care what's going on. I'm throwing it in there. I don't care if it's months away. I'm going up, putting it down, saying, ooh, this date, done, squared up. That shit's it's taken already. So the more that I do that, it's like, all right, cool. Like, I get to have some structure, but I also need to learn to kind of walk away from that and accept things that just pop up. So for example, on Saturday, right? Kicking back after the show, do my thing. I'm just here at the house, relaxing, chilling. I jumped in the shower, and it was maybe like 9:30 ish. And then one of my buddies just got back from a birthday trip. He was gone for the week. Was kind of going all around. And he's like, hey, dude, what are you doing right now? And I was like, chilling, G. I just got out the shower. What's up? He's like, you want to go grab a drink? I said, let's run it. Let's go, baby. So I went, changed, chilled out. And one thing too is like we never really kick it locally. Like, we like to stay out of where we stay. You know what I mean? Like, we'll go explore other places like Long Beach, or we'll go to LA or something like that. But we were like, let's see what's up local. Let's go somewhere around here. So we ended up at a local bar. Well, it's like a steakhouse bar situation, but either way, really nice, really cool, hella close to us. It ended up being a sick ass night. And we both had things to celebrate. So it was exciting. Like, he has birthday. He also had a recent promotion, which is super fucking exciting. He had a great trip, so that's worth celebrating too. I had some things that popped up in my life that are worth celebrating. So I said, you know what? It's a beautiful night. Why not? It's unexpected and I'm here for it. So we got to enjoy each other's company, have drinks, make friends with the bartenders, shoot the shit, just kind of share stories, laughs. And I'm like, this is what this is all about, right? Like, imagine if I would have said no. Because I was tired. I was feeling kind of out of it because the day before, dude, I got food poisoning and it was not the fucking business. It was actually myself and my homie Rob that got it. And it was the saddest fucking thing ever because we love Hawaiian food. And we got Hawaiian food from one of our favorite spots. And that shit turned on us, yo. I was so fucking sad. Like, my heart, it just like fucking broke into a million pieces because we both realized it. Bro, like, I hit him up the next day and I'm like, bro, I'm fucking dying. And he's like, me too. And I'm like, dude, we didn't drink like that. And he goes, nah, bro. Like, it was the food for sure. For sure. So it was rough. I was still feeling kind of out of it, recovering in that sense. But it's like, if I would have said no, I would have missed out on all that. I would have missed out on the stories, on the opportunities, on all of it. And then after that, we went out to the spot called Norms, which is just like a diner out here. And I'm not going to say it's a staple, but it has been around for a long time in SoCal. So, I mean, you can find Norms all over the place. So I hadn't been in, I don't even know how many years, probably 10, 15 years, something like that. And same thing for him. We go pull up, get breakfast, and it was tight. There we are, fucking 1, 2 in the morning, just sitting there eating pancakes, hash browns, just getting down. And I'm like, dude, this is fucking sick. Like, I love it. Like, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, but I'm going to sleep and I'm feeling good, right? Like, I'm happy with what I did. I'm happy with these decisions. It's like I got to have a full day with work, spend time with people that I care for. And then I got to see my brother at night, catch up on his trip, catch up on some other things, share a drink, laugh, tell stories, have breakfast here, that late night type shit. And I'm like, this is dope. This is balance right here. This is me finding that and also making it happen. Because I feel like sometimes I think in my head that it's like shit's just gonna pan out. And it does. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you can't think about things that way. But I think if you have some sort of say and if you have a will to kind of shift things, you can also make that happen for yourself too. So I'm like, all right, let me force the balance because I need it. I'm tired and I might feel this way, but fuck that. Let's just kind of, you know what I mean? Let's shift that fucking scale and make it happen. Let's forcefully put this here to move it. So it goes like that, So it just levels out. So it's good. It's good and it feels right. And I feel like that's just kind of where I'm at in my life right now, is trying to find a balance with so many things. with my family, with my career, in my romantic life, in my professional life, like just in every aspect. I feel like I'm just now just trying to level shit out, where it's like, how much time do I put into this? How much energy, how much love do I put into this? Okay, what's giving back to me? Reciprocate that. What's giving back to me here? Okay, reciprocate that. Like, I'm very much in this reciprocating phase of my life, where if somebody's giving me 50, I'm giving them 50. If someone's giving me 100, I'm giving them 100. It's that simple. And we always hear, especially when it comes to relationships, that it's like, sometimes you might not be able to, match it. Sometimes you have to give more. Sometimes you're going to be a little bit on the lesser side, and the other person's going to make up for that. And I understand that. And there's certain times where I'm not saying you always have to like match it, but I think for me right now, in the state that I'm in, like emotionally, mentally, that's just kind of where I need to be. Is I need to be in this matching phase. And don't get me wrong, I do have my relationships where it's like sometimes I might not have 100%. So whoever it is might need to put in the other 80, because maybe I'm only giving 20 right now, or maybe I'm giving 50, the other person might give the other 50. Maybe I'm giving 40, they give the 60. Like, you guys get what I'm getting at, right? Like, there are certain people that get those passes, certain people you have those relationships with. But in general, me just approaching anybody, anyone and everyone, it's like, if you're giving me 100, I'm giving you 100. Like, I'm gonna match that, right? Because for me, it's like, that's what I want to do. I want to keep these scales balanced. I want to keep shit level. People who are putting effort into these relationships, I want to put effort into the relationships. I'm not just talking about romantic. I'm talking about like friendships too, because there's a lot that I've shifted in the recent, where it's like I noticed certain people just kind of dipped out. They weren't putting in the effort. So I'm like, well, why am I going to reach out? Why am I going to put myself out here like that? Because I feel like a fucking asshole. Why am I always reaching out to you to kick it? Why am I always talking to you? Why am I always saying what's up? Like, you can't say what's up? What, like, where you been? You see where I'm at. I've always been here. I don't know where you're at. So it's shit like that, where I'm just like, all right, it's cool. And it's important. It's important to realize and recognize those things. So that's, and I even had a conversation with a friend of mine, because he goes, dude, how are you doing it right now? Like, how are you finding the balance with your life and everything? And I was like, dude, I don't know. Like, I wish I had a fucking answer for you, like a solid answer for you, but I don't. I said, I'm taking everything as it comes at me. Like, I have my plans. I have, again, certain things booked in my calendar. But aside from that, dude, I'm just running it a day at a fucking time. And even a day is too much. I'm taking it like hourly, because shit is changing. Like yesterday, for example, I had a buddy of mine that called me, and he had a situation that was going on with his family, and it kind of broke out right away. And I'm like, oh shit. For me, that was a good example, because it's like everything was, for the most part, level yesterday. I feel like I had a balance. So shit I was doing with work, shit here at the house, running errands, doing all that. It felt good. Then I had that thing that came, and I was like, oh shit, like everything's off now. So like, how do we bring it back? Then on top of that, I had another buddy hit me up and was like, dude, there's a beautiful, beautiful Audi. And it was parked on the street, and some fucking dude that was carrying, I guess, like a 6-car trailer, something of the sort. Basically, he fucking just rammed into his car with the trailer and then ran it over with the trailer. So it completely tore the front end off, like all fucked up. He's all wrecked about it. He hits me up when I'm going over to my buddy's place to go help him with his situation. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? Like, shit was already like this. Now it just got even higher, right? So I'm just spending the rest of the day trying to level shit back out. Where, I'm trying to calm my homie down about his car. I'm trying to talk to him like, hey, dude, we're going to get this situated. Don't stress. It's all good. I got you. We're cool. So the scale starts to come back. Go with the homie. Help him out. Okay, look, dude, I get it. You're frustrated. You're upset. Let's just handle what we need to handle. Let's do what we can do right now. We can't do shit else. You feel me? Let's get this handled. We'll get some dinner. We'll come back. We'll finish out the rest of it. ¿Sabes? Cool. Next thing you know, by the end of the night, it's like, there we go. We're back to zero. And it felt good. Like I was able to go to sleep feeling like, okay, cool. My people that I needed to be with today, that I needed to just kind of be around, talk to, help in some way. It's like, they're good. All my people are good. My family's good. Everything's cool. Felt level, knocked out. We're good. And it's like today, that's how I'm kind of taking the day too. Just trying to approach it, figure out what I need to figure out. And it's like, all right, let's keep the scales balanced. So that's the thing I can recommend for like to tell you guys is like, do your best to keep things in balance. Look at what needs your attention. Focus on that. Everything outside of that, let it ride. Handle what you need to handle. Look at what needs adjusting right now. And by the right now, I'm talking about right now, right this second, like when you hear this, right? Like, what do you need to do in the moment? Handle that. If something feels too crazy, adjust it. If relationships don't feel like they're giving to you what you need, pull back a little bit, and so on and so forth. Make your adjustments where you need to make them in every way, shape, and form. Because nobody's going to make the adjustments for your life but you. That I will tell you. You can try and rely on other people, look to other people. Don't do that. Don't let other people run your life like that. Because then the moment that those people can't be there for you, you're ass out and you feel like your whole world's falling apart. And that's the shit that gets scary. Because have I been there? 110%. I've definitely become reliant on certain people in the past. And I realized what that did to me when I didn't have them anymore. So I had to kind of, how would you say? I had to adjust everything in my head, in my heart, like in my soul, the way I just kind of ran my life. I'm like, hold on, you can't do that anymore. You can't put this on other people. This is a you thing. Like you got to handle, you got to hold yourself down. I'm not saying to not rely 110% or have people that you can't rely on, because those people are good to have, right? Like yesterday, for example, my boys, they hit me up and I'm there. Cool. And, it goes the same way where if I need them, if something goes down, boom, like I know they're right there. They got me the way I got them. Cool. Those are good people. But I can't say everybody's got me like that. I can't say every person in my life is going to react that way. So think about that. Pay attention to it. Look at it. See what's up. Again, I know we've talked about this before, but like when you step outside your life and you really start to examine things, you're like, okay. Look at it from like a non-objective. I think that's how you say it, right? Yeah, I think it's like from like a non-objective perspective. Just look at shit. Say, all right, maybe this relationship isn't it. Maybe this job isn't it. Maybe this. I need to move all this around because it's what's going to benefit you. Do what's best for you. So when I'm sitting here thinking about all this, I said, all right, I feel like this is kind of adding up to me trying to be the best version of myself. I'm trying to just kind of get everything together with my life. And it's like, you know what? And I keep talking about look at the present, right? Like look at what needs to be adjusted and fix that for the right now. So that leads me to this week's advice, which is this. The real glow up is when you stop waiting to turn into some perfect version of yourself and consciously enjoy being who you are in the present. One more time. The real glow up is when you stop waiting to turn into some perfect version of yourself and consciously enjoy being who you are in the present. Remember that, you guys. Repeat it to yourself. Listen, play this back however many times you need to play it back. Because that is extremely important. I think we are constantly set, and like society has kind of instilled this little thing where it's like you need to be the perfect version. You need to find and make yourself and do this and do this. And it's like, nah, it's all right, dude. Some days are going to be better than others. Some days you're going to wake up feeling like $1,000,000. Other days you wake up feeling like shit, and it's okay. Some days you accomplish more than others, and it doesn't mean fucking anything. It doesn't make you any less of a person. Doesn't make you a fucking scumbag. Doesn't make you lazy. Doesn't make you any of that. That's just societal bullshit. Like, to me, focus on what you need. Do what's best for yourself so that you can be the best version of yourself every single day. Because every single day, that version of you is going to change. But ultimately, if you wake up with good intention, you have a good spot in your heart, you feel okay, you can kind of get yourself on track that day, then cool. That's it. One day, one step, 1 hour, 1 minute at a time. Life is meant to live in moments. Life is meant to live in increments, right? It's these pieces. That's what makes everything whole. You can't just sit there and say, my whole life is this, because it's not that. I think we get that to that point maybe when you're at a certain age, when you're a lot older, when you've lived a certain amount of life. But right now, for a lot of us listening, we're not there yet. And this is where we are. So let's just live in the present moment. Let's do what we have to do today, right now. Whatever the day is, whatever the time is, do what you got to do right now, because that's the shit that matters. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys so much for sticking around, for listening, for being here, being a part of this project. Because without you guys, it's not possible. So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Sending you all my good love, all my good vibes, all my good everything, because I appreciate y'all. And I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, an incredible weekend. And I will catch you guys on the next one.